Hello, everyone. We've got a new and interesting topic. Today, we're going to talk about the body's silent engine, your liver, and we'll talk about how nutrition keeps it going. Your liver is the silent engine of your body, working tirelessly behind the scenes, filtering, fueling, and protecting every cell. When I talk about nutrition, I try to use simple ways to explain science by using an analogy. For example, just like a catalytic converter that keeps a car running clean, your liver keeps your body running strong. Without it, every meal you eat would turn into chaos instead of energy. Okay, I would like for you to get to know your liver. When you place your hand on the right side of your chest, just under your ribs, you are covering your liver. It's the body's largest solid organ, weighing about 3 pounds and shaped like a wedge. The liver's location is not an accident. It sits right where blood from the stomach and intestines flows in, so it can immediately process nutrients and filter out toxins. Think of it as the first checkpoint after food leaves your stomach, making sure only the good stuff gets through. You know, every organ in our body is important. But let's talk about comparing liver to the stomach. If you had a chance to listen to my first few videos about the basics of nutrition, particularly digestion, you would understand more of what I'm ready to explain. When we eat, the stomach is the first stop where food are broken down into smaller pieces. But right after that, the liver takes center stage. So, if the mouth is the chopper, think of the stomach as the grinder and the liver is the refinery. The liver decides what nutrients are used, stored, or detoxified. Without the liver, the stomach's work would be incomplete. That's why the liver is ranked as just behind the stomach in digestive importance, but ahead in overall metabolic control. Think of the stomach as the blender of your body. It chops food into smaller pieces so nutrients can be absorbed. But the liver is the control center. Once food leaves the stomach, the liver decides what to do with it: store it, use it, or clean it. Without the liver, the stomach's work would be wasted. So while stomach starts digestion, the liver is the one that keeps you alive and balanced every single day. So, what happens when your liver is sick? Chronic liver disease doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly. It often begins with inflammation caused by viruses like hepatitis, heavy alcohol use, or excess fat in the liver. Over time, this damage creates stiff tissue that makes the liver less able to do its job. If it's left unchecked, the changes progress into cirrhosis and eventually liver failure. Think of your liver like a machine that can rust over time. Small damage from poor diet, toxins, or even infections act like rust spots. Risk factors such as obesity, diabetes, drug use, and many other causes can accelerate the process, wearing the liver out down faster. That's why prevention through healthy habits and early detection is very important. It's always easier to stop rust than to repair a broken engine. Extra calories also play a major role. When we eat more than we can burn, the body stores that excess in fat tissues. But once that warehouse is full, your liver becomes a backup storage closet. Fat begins to pile up where it doesn't belong, leading to fatty liver disease. It's a silent but serious condition. The liver converts excess sugar and fat into triglycerides. These are tiny fat droplets stored inside your liver cells. At first, this is silent, but over time, those droplets cause inflammation and damage, like a factory clogged with waste that can't run efficiently anymore. Not all foods affect the liver equally. For example, sugary drinks and sweets flood the liver with glucose or blood sugar, which quickly turns into fat. Refined carbs like white bread and pasta act the same way, spiking sugar and overloading your liver. Saturated fats found in fried foods and fatty meats are even more direct. They are stored so quickly. These foods are like shortcuts to liver fat, which is why moderation and balanced diet choices are important to liver health. And it's not just food. Many people think vaping only harms the lungs, but the chemicals travel through the bloodstream and reach the liver. Once inside, they trigger oxidative stress and fat buildup, just like excess calories do. So over time, this hidden danger can contribute to fatty liver disease. So vaping isn't just issues about the lungs. It's a whole body issue, with the liver quietly taking the hit. So, what are the symptoms of liver disease? Jaundice happens when the skin and eyes turn yellow because the liver cannot properly process bilirubin, a substance made when red blood cells break down. Normally, liver filters bilirubin out, but when it's damaged or blocked, bilirubin builds up in the blood. For everyday understanding, think of bilirubin like wasted oil in a car. If the filter is clogged, the oil backs up and stains the system. In the body, the stain shows up as yellow skin and eyes. It's a visible warning sign that your liver is struggling. Next is ascites. It's the buildup of fluid in the belly, often seen in advanced liver disease. When liver is damaged, blood flow through it slows down, causing pressure that pushes fluid into the abdomen. For patients, it feels like the stomach is swollen or heavy, even without eating much. Imagine a water balloon slowly filling inside your belly. That's what ascites is like. It's uncomfortable, and it signals that the liver is under serious strain. Itchy skin in liver disease also is one of the classic symptoms because bile salts and toxins that should have been filtered out by the liver ended up circulating in the blood and settling under the skin. For someone living with it, the itch can feel constant and frustrating, even worse at night. It's not just dry skin, but it's the body's way of saying, toxins are building up. Think of it like dust that wasn't cleaned off a surface. It irritates until it's removed. Swelling in the legs and feet, or edema, happens when the liver can't make enough protein like albumin, which normally keep fluid inside blood vessels. Without these proteins, fluid leaks into tissues. To a patient, it looks like or feels like puffiness or heaviness in the legs and ankles. Imagine a sponge soaking up water. It gets swollen and heavy. That's what happens to tissues when the liver can't keep fluid balanced. Low blood pressure is another symptom in the liver disease, which comes from poor circulation and fluid shifts. The liver helps regulate blood volume and vessel tone, but when it's damaged, blood pressure can drop. For everyday understanding, think of blood pressure like water pressure in pipes. If the pump, like the liver's regulatory role, weakens, the pressure falls. This causes dizziness, fatigue, or fainting, showing that the body's circulation system is not working at full strength. So, how does your liver process food? Every bite of food eventually passes through the liver. Carbohydrates become glycogen for storage. Fats are broken down or repackaged, and protein are transformed into vital compounds. The liver also filters toxins, acting like body's quality control center. Without this processing, nutrients could not be safely used by the body. Imagine every meal as a shipment arriving at a warehouse. The stomach unloads the boxes, but the liver is the warehouse manager. Carbs are stored as glycogen, like boxes stacked neatly for later use. Fats are repackaged into energy packets, and protein are turned into building materials. At the same time, the liver throws away harmful items like toxins so they don't poison the system. It's the ultimate multitasker, keeping the body's supply chain running smoothly. So liver has other functions too, but here we are just discussing how the liver processes food. When explaining something to many of my patients, I often use an analogy of a motor vehicle. For example, I compare the liver to a catalytic converter. Just as the converter cleans harmful gases before they exit a car, the liver cleans toxins before they circulate in the body. It's a relatable analogy that shows how vital the liver is to survival. Without it, the exhaust of food and chemicals would damage every organ. It's a simple but powerful way to picture how this vital organ protects us every day. So let's discuss about ways to protect your liver. The good news is the liver is resilient. It can heal if given the chance. Eating a balanced diet like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains will keep it strong. Limiting alcohol, sugar, and processed foods reduces the burden. And regular exercise burns off excess calories before they reach the liver. Think of it as giving your liver a break. It works hard every day, so lifestyle choices are like maintenance that keeps it running so smoothly. So, protect your silent engine. Your liver is the silent engine that keeps you alive. It doesn't complain loudly when it's stressed. It quietly absorbs the damage until it can't do it anymore. That's why liver disease often sneaks up unnoticed. By the time symptoms appear, the damage may already have been advanced. The good news is that prevention is in your hands. Every meal, every drink, every lifestyle choice is either fuel for health or fuel for harm. Choosing whole foods, staying active, and limiting alcohol, sugar, and vaping are not just good habits. They are acts of protection for the organ that filters your blood, stores energy, and keeps your body clean. Think of it as daily maintenance for the most important machine you own, your body. So, my advice is simple but powerful. Respect your liver. Take care of it the way you take care of a trusted vehicle or a loved one. Small but consistent steps today, like balanced nutrition and mindful living, will keep your liver strong for tomorrow. Protecting your liver is protecting your future. Thank you again for watching, and may God bless us all.